Bloomfield's gone, and expat says, please interview more than one person at this time. Welcome back to Where Hatters Walk. Hope you are well. Coming up this week, we're saying thank you, Matt. And is his treatment by some Luton fans completely, utterly disrespectful? More on that in a minute. Some Luton fans are not happy with the way we've hounded him out of the club. Plus, who next? Who do we want? Another project manager or time for some experience? We're looking at refereeing standards, and there's a little bit of light fun to all the mayhem that's been going on. We're starting the A to Z of Luton Town this week. Very simple. One letter, one page. Who do you put in for the letter A? We have AI, which is recommended to us this fella, which I'm sure some of you will be looking at saying, who is that? Well, answers on a postcard at the end of the video. On to more pressing matters, though. Lewis, Bloomfield's gone. Right decision?
Yeah. The football club have made a quick one for the first time in a very long time. I'm glad they didn't do what they did with Rob Edwards and wait a couple more months. The performance against Stevenage was unacceptable, and we've had too many performances like that. We're meant to be favourites to win promotion, and we're just miles away from actually achieving that. I don't think the players understand the true message from the coaching staff and how to implement their style of football. And we just don't look like a team. We look unbalanced. I don't think they know truly what they're doing. And Bloomfield, he's tried multiple formations, multiple systems now across two different football seasons, and it just hasn't worked. So I think he's ran out of ideas, and I just don't see the players actually understanding what he's wanting them to do.
Yeah. This tweet here, Loyal Hatter says, it's a shame, Mark. It hasn't worked out with Bloomfield, but this was the correct decision. As it wasn't just the results, but the performances have been poor as well. And Kay said, what's this? Being proactive and not leaving it late. So please now bring the right man in. It's sad, Mark, when any manager has to go. And I know you've given your public backing to him many, many times, but leaving Stevenage, were even you thinking he should leave?
Yeah, I mean, it's not fair on so many levels. It's not fair on Matt at the end of the day, is a human, and we don't want to make him ill over it. But the fact is that, like Lewis said, the players are getting abused for it. We don't know what our identity is, and I think some of the songs were like, "We want our old Luton back." We don't know what our identity is, and I just think it's got to a point where all the fans had lost faith in Matt. He could go and win the next 3 games, but if he loses the 4th game, then the atmosphere is not helping Matt, it's not helping the players. And yes, we wanted it to work out, but it just hasn't worked out. And Gary and the board have made the right decision, made a quick decision. We've got a game tomorrow night, but really it's the Virtue Trophy, but really it's about the next 2 weeks. And what I would say is, I want us to make the right decision. If it takes us longer, so be it. And not like we've got to get somebody in for Mansfield at home. If it takes us 2 weeks, 4 weeks, I think this decision is critical. And it hasn't been entertaining to watch. It's been a hard watch, but I think it's the right decision for everyone, I think.
Okay. We'll come on to the leading candidates in a minute and what you all want in the next manager, but let's stay with how it's all rolled out. Kevin, this from the Wacker says, it leaves a sour taste knowing that core players have gone behind his back to the owner. And as I said, there were some fans also saying, look, there's a group of Luton fans which have hounded Matt in every ground he's been to. I'm not sure how true that is about the players going behind his back, but what's your understanding? Has he been treated pretty poorly, Matt Bloomfield?
Look, I can't comment on where the players went behind his back, but I think that the team has learnt from Rob Edwards and not letting it drag on too long. You could already start seeing that it started having an effect on Matt, and they needed to take decisive action, which they did. And at the end of the day, he was brought in to do a job which he wasn't able to do. And that was to get us out and to make sure we weren't relegated last season, and to get us into the top 2 positions this year, which he hasn't been able to do. So it's probably the right decision, as sad as it is.
Okay. Let's talk then about what needs to happen next, Lewis. I think there's a common thought that's been developing, certainly on what I've read on social media, around what should happen with the next manager. The first one is, as Mark said, is please, for goodness sake, take your time. This one from Ethan says, we need to change the model in the hunt for a new manager. Right now, we need an experienced leader who can turn the ship around. After back-to-back relegations, we need an experienced manager, not another project manager. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. This football club, I don't think a young project manager can solve it. There's a lot of damage here, and I feel like the foundations which John Steele built at this football club in non-league and then Nathan Jones took to another level have now been destroyed. And I just don't think a young coach coming in should deal with that much damage. And they don't have that experience of being able to turn things around unless they have a very experienced like number 2 and a number 3 next to them. But I've got a lot of concerns because I think that's where we're going to go down the route of. We need an experienced person. We need someone who knows what to do when a club's been relegated and then reinstall those foundations back into place. And if it takes 3 months, like what Mark says, and if it takes a long time, then so be it. There's no rush. We've got proper Luton at the football club who are taking charge of the game against Cambridge tomorrow in Alex Lawless, Paul Benson. You've got Foley as well. You've got Ronnie Henry, who's part of our non-league title winning side. So you've got proper Luton players who know what this football club is all about, the foundations and everything else that comes with it. They can be in charge of the football club until we get the right appointment in. We don't need to rush it. I rather we get the right person in. If we finish mid-table this season, so be it. But if we get the right person eventually, fantastic. But I do not want us to rush and make a really poor decision.
Yeah, good shout. Mark, the bookies have released today the odds on the next Luton manager. Luke Williams, who of course was sacked from Swansea last year, leads it up. We've got Ian Everett on there, Richie Wellens, Liam Richardson, and then just crazily Sean Dyche is a 5th favourite. I don't know how anyone's calculated that, because that's just not happening for lots of reasons, I'd imagine. Any names on there interest you, Mark?
Normally they say the bookies don't get it wrong, but I agree with everything Lewis has said. And if I was going to take one name, someone that I would take tomorrow, it would be Danny Roll. Did a brilliant job at Sheffield Wednesday, got them out of League One, knows the league. He's very adaptable manager, and yeah, I think he would do a good job. But yeah, you can forget Sean Dyche. I mean, he's managed long enough in the Premier League to not drop down to the Championship, let alone League One. And yeah, I think for me, like I just need to, whoever comes in, yes, it's a big project and it's a big job, and we just need to not only stabilise the ship, but we need to turn it round so it's facing the right direction. But I just think fans just want to feel entertained again, and it's not about we've lost. Yes, we do want to win, but I think it's as much about what we're watching as the results itself. So yeah, that would be my one pick. But yeah, I think the bookies will just like put names in a hat and think, oh, we'll start betting on that. But there's nobody on that list that inspires me, shall we say?
Yeah, I'm surprised about Luke Williams, because he massively lost. He lost the dressing room, just as the rumours are that Bloomfield did at your place. So I'm very surprised that he's up there. Kevin, any ideas from you? What do you want to see?
Look, I think Luke Williams is not a bad shot, and you're correct, Mark. You might have lost that dressing room, but you just never know how it'll gel at a different team. We've seen that with Nathan Jones. super successful at Luton, super successful at Charlton. It just didn't work out at Stoke and Southampton. I wouldn't mind someone like David Wagner from Norwich, or even Johannes Torp, who produced some great results at Norwich, both of them, and entertaining football at that as well. And I think Lewis and Mark said it correctly. It's not just the fact that we are 11th on the log at the moment. I don't often say this, but the football's just become boring. It wasn't entertaining. There was no identity. And I don't think the fans look forward to Saturday's game. And football at the end of the day is entertainment. So we need a bit of both. We do need someone that's a bit harder out there. But make no mistake, I don't think people are also rushing to get to Luton at this point as well. I don't think they're throwing themselves to get to our club due to our where we are at the moment.
All right, before we leave this topic once and for all, Mark, you can have the final word on Matt Bloomfield.
I mean, he was within. He did sort of turn it round at the end of last season, and we were within one game of staying up. But yes, a really nice bloke, and I wish there's no ill feeling. It didn't work out. He's a good progressive coach, but it just didn't work out at Luton. I'm not sure the timing of it also, like when he came in, and I'm not sure he knew what his strongest team was or even his formation. We've only just gone to the back four in the last couple of games, so and I think you can look at the stats and all the figures and everything else, but as well as that, I mean, I go to every game as others do, but I just see it with my eyes, and I just didn't know what the plan was, what the identity was. So we wish Matt well for the future. He will get another job, and he will be successful in the future. But the time's right, and we move on, and let's get Luton back to what we know we are.
Okay. One name I've seen, Lewis, popping up is the Stevenage manager who you've just kind of met at the weekend, but you're absolutely certain that you want somebody who's been here before, done this, taken a team up. Yeah, we don't want another young up and coming manager.
Yeah, because I just see it going around in circles if we keep bringing this young coach in, who hasn't experienced what I believe they need to experience, which is dealing with a team that's going through quite a lot. If I was to give you like some names, and I'm thinking more managers that have actually had plenty of jobs, haven't been successful elsewhere, but also have been successful. So you've got your Richie Wellens at Leyton Orient, who's had a fantastic, nearly 200 games at that football club. You've got Michael Scabala, who's the Lincoln manager, who outplayed us. He's done unbelievable things on a small amount of budget. Lincoln don't have loads of money at that football club. And then you've got, I think it's Andy Woodman at Bromley, who for the last 4 years has done an amazing job. He's in his 50s, so he's more experienced, and he's been coaching for a very long time. So those are like the three names that stand out to me. But even then, I just feel like the next appointment, I just don't think fans are going to accept it. Like a Luke Williams, for example, who the bookies are saying is the favourite. No one's going to be patient with his style of football. He's a very ball playing, patient, play out from the back. Fans are going to boo that. So I think as well, whoever the next guy is, I think fans have got to get behind, even if you're not for it. Because otherwise, we're just going to go round in this constant circle, and we're just going to be like a Watford and sacking managers every 5 months. And that's not what I want.
And sorry for interrupting very quickly, but the thing with Nathan Jones was he came in as a progressive manager when the trajectory was on the way up. There's a lot of positive. Everyone was behind it. We had momentum, but we're the complete opposite now. There's a lot of negativity and the last 2 years. So I think it needs a different type of manager. That Nathan was good for that time and that journey we were on, but it's a lot different now.
Okay. We wish Matt Bloomfield well from everyone. Certainly, Mark, you mentioned before when you spoke to him, he's a very, very decent fella. And I'm sure we'll see him in management again, yeah, a bit of an impossible task, wasn't he? He was given last season, but yeah, he was only a West Brom win away from keeping you guys up. Right, we move on. Kevin, this week across the network, we're talking about refereeing standards because we've had a number of issues up and down the Championship and in League One, as you guys are well aware, with refereeing standards. I just wanted your thoughts as to whether you've come across any good referees yet, and how fairly you think Luton have been refs so far.
Look, I don't think we should this season be talking too much about the refs. I don't think the refs have been our issue. In fact, with Blackpool, Martin Wood was actually pretty good. He gave us a penalty late on as well. We can't have any complaints about that. Even Stevenage this weekend with James Bell. Wasn't his fault, had no complaints. There's other good referees out there. I don't think, and I mean, this is one thing that Luton often goes to and blames the referee for bad results. I think this year has been very different with that. I don't think we can blame the officials. We solely have ourselves to blame at this point. So I can't really complain. I think we've had some good ones. Lewis Smith is also pretty good. So overall this year, with the 11 games we played, I can't really criticize.
Okay, you're the first person that said that. Everyone else is absolutely apoplectic with it. Mark, you've been watching football a long time. Where are we at with the standard of refereeing? Is it in a nutshell?
I don't see a massive improvement. For me, the best referees are the ones you don't notice. I think that the way the game's going doesn't help them. You can't tackle without being called up for fouls. I'm of that age where I remember what the game was like a million years ago, but the game's changed and they don't help themselves, but the rules don't help either. I've not been over impressed with the standard. Is that because of how they're coached to referee a game, or is that just the standard coming down? Like whenever anyone gets a bad game in the Premier League, they get sent to a Championship, and then Championship they get sent to League One. It's almost like your punishment is you go down a league. So I'm not impressed, but it's partly the standard and partly I feel the way the game's going in the way that they've been coached to referee a game.
Okay. Right, let us know your thoughts on that. And then finally this week, a little bit of light relief. We're starting off with the A to Z of Luton Town. Here's how it works. For each letter of the alphabet, we're looking for a player, a memory, something important to do with Luton. And we asked AI, as mentioned before. It went all the way back to 1980 for Radiantic, which I can't even comment, Mark. I don't know if you can.
One of my best memories, 1983, Man City away, when he scored the goal to keep us in the old First Division. I was up there as like a 17-year-old, so that's like 42 years ago. But yeah, no. And then sort of hear David Pleat's stories about how he signed him. But yeah, I think we talk about A's, then it's got to be Radianti. He's just a player ahead of his time. You think like how players are today, and this was like going back 40 years. He was way ahead of his time.
Okay. Right, Lewis, bring us a bit more up to date if you can. What gets in for you?
I'm still trying to think. Let Kevin go, and then okay. I think.
Let's give Lewis time.
Mark, and I'll give Lewis a little bit more time. I'll come with 3 quick ones. One very negative one, but a word that Luton can never get away from: administration. November 2007, when we lost 10 points. That was definitely a big part of our history. One very topical one: Alex Lawless. Obviously, he's going to be the caretaker manager for now. Over 160 games for Luton, under 21 coach, great midfielder. And then a personal one is, and this might shock you, is the name Arsenal for 2 reasons. Number one, we are still the last team to score 3 goals against them in the Premier League 16 months ago. And look at us now. And then a very personal one is obviously the League Cup win 3-2 in 1988. And that's actually where I started supporting the Hatters. And South African-born Brian Stein scored, obviously, the winner. So that's quite a close connection there.
Some good shouts there. Administration, Come on, Liz.
I've got to go with the Arsenal one because it's, I think the major trophy element, we use that argument on why we're a bigger club than Watford because we've won a major trophy. And I feel like nowadays in modern day football, it's so difficult to win major trophies. So the fact that we've got one in our cabinet should be celebrated a lot. So yeah, the Arsenal game in the Little Wiz Cup final, I think that has to be A for me.
We've actually got 4 players in our current squad with names beginning with A.
And no one's mentioned.
Yeah, but they don't deserve to be mentioned. That's not success.
Okay, right. It looks like Mark. Did you have any others? Sorry, I'll come to you.
I'm showing my age, but Mark Hazelwood, he was part of the promotion side, 81, 82. You can tell I've got the greyish hair because I'm going back this. But yeah, for anyone that's wondering who the 4 are, Mads Anderson, Al Hamadi, Milic Ali was the 3rd, and the 4th one we've currently got in our squad escapes me. But
Adebayo.
How could we forget Adebayo?
How could you forget? Yeah,
because he's injured. But yeah, we've got 4 A's. I don't know what that means.
All right, we'll have to put the Arsenal Cup win in, won't we? I think as part of Luton Town history. Right, thank you. Good shout, Kevin. Right, if they missed anybody though, let us know in the comments. Any chairman, managers that you think definitely should be there, and get ready for the letter B in 2 weeks' time.
I'm already ready for it.
And for C, Mark, we're definitely putting you in. Okay, how's that? All right.
Right, thank you.
Right, see you then. Have a good couple of weeks off, and yeah, let's not rush into any management decisions, shall we? If Lewis Williams is appointed on Wednesday morning, I fear there's going to be a meltdown on Luton Twitter. See you then. Have a good one.
All right then. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.